Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, May 7th. Yeah, Tuesday, May 7th. And I am your morning witch. I wonder if I said April yesterday. I'm gonna have to go check that. So today is Tuesday, and what I've been thinking about and what our video today is going to be about is our perception of the deities, and we're going to use the dark goddesses for examples. We call them the dark goddesses. We honor them as the dark goddesses. We dubbed them the dark goddesses. Lilith has been demonized in mythology because she asked Adam for equality. She was his first wife, and she said, "I will be equals with you, not serve you." And for that, not only was she kicked out of paradise, but she was also demonized for the rest of eternity so far, simply for asking to be treated equal as a human being. And we further propel the demonization of her asking to be treated equal as a human being. We celebrate her as a dark goddess. We talk about her as someone who was a man-hater or a man-eater. We honor all of that in her. Doing so, because we choose to only honor her from the aspect of her demonization, we further demonize her. We don't lift her up, even though if you're honoring someone, isn't that what we usually do? The Kaliak is seen as a dark goddess. She's associated with winter and therefore darkness. But in Celtic legend, the Kaliak created the world. She was the first witch, and depending on which legend you read, no matter how you skew it together, she created the world in which we all now live. But because she's associated with winter, we call her the dark goddess. She also is associated with the groundhog. That's where we get those legends from. Look into it. The point is, the dark goddesses are not dark. We are putting our own perception on them, that they are dark goddesses, and we are promoting that they are dark. And without our perception put on them in any way, shape, or form, they would be what they are meant to be, and just that aspect of nature, and no less, but definitely not something more that is negatively shaped. Because even those of us that celebrate them as dark goddesses, we are adding to their negative connotation in the way that we choose to honor them, especially when we say, like, Hecate will smite all of your enemies. Hecate is an ancient goddess from the Middle East. She was so powerful that the Greeks adopted her into their pantheon and made her a fucking Hellenic goddess. She's associated with more than just darkness. She's the goddess of witchcraft. She's a triple goddess. She is the aspects of all three. She is the keeper of the crossroads. Marsana is a goddess of the crossroads. She is the goddess of death and winter, but she does not have to be a dark goddess. I've actually read that those of us who perceived Marsana from the beginning as a beautiful maiden versus a wretched hag have a special relationship with her, and like that touched my heart, because she is one of my goddesses, because I do work with death. But death is not darkness. Death is not an obsession with death. Working with death does not mean that one is dark. Death is a part of the cycle. Life feeds on death. Death feeds on life. It's all a part of the cycle. And it is only our perception that gives these things the darkness that we put on them. But this doesn't just apply to the dark goddesses. This applies to all of the deities. The gods of death, the gods of time, the trickster gods. Everything that we have put on them, we have put on them. And it is through our perception that they are any of those things that are and were said about them. So the point of today's video, we're in the library. So educate yourselves. We're in the library. The point of today's video in educating yourself is allowing yourself to develop relationships with these things without taking into account other people's perceptions of them. Because you can have a relationship with any human being and you can find something different in them than everyone else, right? Because you don't allow other people's perceptions to shape your perception of this individual. You are giving them a chance to show themselves to you. And in much the same way we should approach the gods and goddesses. We should give them the opportunity to show themselves to us as they are, so that we may not only build a relationship if we choose to or are chosen to, but also understand them outside of our own perception that is covered in blinders and layers upon layers of lived experience and other people's opinions that have been put into our ear holes and our eye holes through pop culture and conversation our entire lives. So let the gods and goddesses introduce themselves to you. Don't put human anything on them. Don't discount a deity because other people say whatever they say about that deity. Be careful and protect yourself, but stop listening to what everybody else tells you and go make those connections. And you can apply this to anything, not just deities. You can apply this to other people. You can apply this to life situations. You can apply this all over the place, and it will just make you a better you. So happy Tuesday, and I hope I was understandable today.